This should be interesting. Sunday GUNDAY. What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things, and today we're going to be shooting a little bit of long range. It may not be common knowledge if you are new to this channel, but my interest in guns started from an early age when I started hunting. Since then, my interest for handguns and recreational shooting kind of took over, but every once in a while I do like shooting out to longer distances. Today I have the perfect gun for this situation, and I also think it's going to give my new steel a little bit of a workout. The gun in question is the Performance Center TC LRR. This long-range rifle, or LRR for short, is a combination of design from Smith & Wesson's Performance Center and Thompson Center Arms. It's a bolt-action chassis-style rifle, and it can be chambered in .243 Win, 6.5 Creedmoor, or the classic .308 like this one here. On top, this rifle includes a 20 MOA Picatinny-style rail, where I currently have a Trijicon AccuPoint installed. The glass has to match the rifle, right? The barrel is 5R rifled and fluted for enhanced accuracy, and at the end on the threads is a pretty substantial break which will hopefully help mitigate some of the recoil of the .308. Since this was built for precision shooters, the LRR features an adjustable cheek rest and butt plate for a custom fit, and built-in M-LOK slots for quick and easy mounting of accessories like the included Caldwell bipod. But what's precision without a nice trigger, right? They've fitted the LRR with a Performance Center trigger that's adjustable from 2.5 to 3.5 pounds for precise tuning. And to top it all off, the gun comes with a 10-round mag and a soft case for safe transport when bringing this thing out to the range. Now, as you can see, I really only have about 100 yards to work with here at my range at the current moment, but luckily I was able to test this thing out to distances much further than this a few weeks back. I'm definitely going to do some fun shooting here, some shooting that this rifle was really not designed for, but I will also roll in some older clips of me when I had a chance to take this thing out a little bit further. Nothing left to do now but to take a seat for a first mag impression. I just knocked my target stand over. Alright, before my first mag impression, I want to go look at the targets because 308's a big round, and I'm only shooting at about 100 yards like I said. My one Magnum target must have been set up a little crooked like on the rocks, and the first shot it knocked it right over. The plate swung back and then it swung forward, but I'm curious if a round like that does any damage. Tactical AR 500. Smacked it right here. I'm pretty sure that's a 308 round. Most of these are all 9mm or 22. There may be a tiny dimple, but you can barely even feel it. And then the 2/3 Magnum, I smacked this thing all over the place, and you can see a little bit of where the bigger rounds were hitting, but damn, these things can take a beating. I would not trust shooting any other steel at a distance like I'm at right now. Alright guys, first mag impression of the Performance Center LRR. I know there's already people in the comments going,
"Dude, why didn't you get the 6.5 Creedmoor? Ballistically, it's so much better, blah, blah, blah."
I get it. I know the 6.5 Creedmoor ballistically is a more sound round than the 308, but it's 308. It's such a classic round. I've shot 308s when I was a lot younger. Specifically, I'm shooting 180 grain Winchester right now. This round has killed a lot of whitetail, a lot of deer, elk, and boar, just big animals. And I'm not saying that the 6.5 Creedmoor cannot do that, but I just like the round. So yes, no hate to the 6.5 Creedmoor. I am just a classic 308 type of guy. I guess the first thing I will start with is just the overall build quality of this gun. As you can see, it's a chassis style gun and mostly the entire thing is metal. This is obviously not very light and it's not really supposed to be either. When shooting a big round like this, you obviously want to have a little bit of weight there to kind of help out with the recoil a little bit, but at the same time you have a little bit of weight saving like up here with the fluted barrel. Aesthetically speaking, I think this rifle looks awesome, especially at the price point. The LRR has an MSRP of a little over $1,200, so it's going to be very competitive with some other precision type of rifles out there. Speaking of precision rifles, the price of this really isn't breaking the bank when you compare it to some other options out there. This has a ton of great features like the M-LOK rail here. You can put any kind of accessory you want on there. Like this included Caldwell bipod. And then moving back to this adjustable cheek rest and butt plate, I currently have this thing set up to give me the best eye relief with this Trijicon AccuPoint, which by the way is an awesome optic. This thing is super crisp and clear, and as you can see on top here, it has these 4 adjustable windows on top, which underneath obviously house fiber optics. I'll see if I can roll in a shot of the camera looking through this, but as you open this thing up, it's sucking in all of the sunlight out here, and then it illuminates the center of the crosshairs in green, and I'm telling you, it is bright. The ergos on the Smith & Wesson branded grip feel very good. You can get a really good grip and then lock this thing into your shoulder. The safety up here is also fairly easy to get to, and then the bolt may not be the most buttery bolt in the world, but it is pretty smooth, especially given the price point for it. A lot of times when you pull brand new rifles out of the box like this, it doesn't like running a full mag. These things can just get a little bit tight and then you may have to adjust the ears a little bit. Like I said, this is my second time shooting it now and it just ran that 10 round mag all the way full, no problem at all. And then there's a trigger, which is probably one of the best things about this rifle, but I'm gonna shoot it a little bit more before I give you my full impressions on that. I have about 100 more rounds of this to go through, but I don't think I'm going to end up shooting it all. I do, however, want to load up a few more and then do some type of shooting with this that you're probably not going to be doing very often, like standing up, maybe some left-handed shooting just because why not? And then I will of course also roll in B-roll from when I took this thing out to a little bit further than 100 yards. This thing's a little heavy to be shooting like this. I am not a left-handed shooter, but let's give it a try anyway. Steel is ringing. How about some lay down shots? Good now. Ding. Now what would 400 be? I did 5 and then 15. All right, let's try this. That one. 500 yards. Freaking back far. Sweet. Just to the right. Ding. Alright guys, back for my final impressions of the LRR. It's not every day that I get to shoot a precision rifle like this, but the days that I do get to, man, it's a lot of fun. I just wish that my range was a little bit longer so I could really stretch this thing out to its full potential. Let's start off by getting a closer look at this trigger. Now I left this trigger the way it came out of the box. Like I said, it is adjustable between 2.5 and 3.5 pounds. However, for my uses with this rifle, it feels great just the way it is. As you can see, there's a little bit of a blade here for a trigger safety, as well as the traditional safety right up here next to the bolt. Once this safety is depressed, there really isn't much to it other than a crisp break. A trigger like this is obviously exactly what you want when you're shooting long range precision. And I would say right now this is more on the heavier side, probably around the 3.5 pound mark, and I think that we could make this a little bit lighter. However, like I said, it's super crisp and I really don't need it to be any lighter for what I'm going to be using this rifle for, which is basically just fun out on the range for right now. So unfortunately, with some of those longer range clips, I didn't want to have an expensive camera sitting that close to steel where you could actually see it hitting. When a big round like this smashes against steel, there's obviously fragments flying everywhere, and it's better to just kind of leave it back a bit further. I also wasn't shooting at paper that day, so I don't really have any targets to show you guys the precision that this thing has. But as an example, at 100, 2, 3, 4, and 500 yards, there were plates set up across, I would say ranging anywhere from maybe 6 inches up to 12-inch gongs. And when shooting here at my range, I had this thing powered all the way down, all the way to the lowest setting. I zeroed it in for 100 yards, and then as I step up the power, I obviously readjusted for each 100 yards that I went out. Long range precision obviously isn't really my game. I like shooting handguns and just having fun while I'm shooting. However, for an average shooter like myself to be hitting a gong about this size at 500 yards, I'm definitely super happy with that. And yes, a 6.5 Creedmoor would be a little bit easier to be shooting at distances like that. It's more ballistically sound, but come on, it's 308. I will try to get back out to a longer range in the future where I can actually do more accuracy tests, maybe shooting at paper with guns like this and other longer range type of rifles that I've shown you guys in the past. But until that day comes, this is what you guys are going to get for now. This is an awesome package, especially with everything that it comes with at the price point. From the threaded 5R rifled fluted barrel, the M-LOK Caldwell bipod, and then all the way back to the Picatinny rail, the nice ergonomics of the grip, and the adjustable ergonomics of the cheek rest and buttstop. I definitely think I could recommend this to someone who's looking to get into the precision rifle game. So I guess that's all that I had for today. If you guys have any questions on my personal opinions of the LRR, feel free to ask those in the comments down below. I know I didn't go over this optic too much, but I also have a lot of good opinions on this. I think it's a great optic. So if you have any questions on that, I will leave specs in the description and you can ask me some questions down below as well. If you are new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe because I make new videos every week, and that's going to be all for today. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.